Truth Serum Nation, look who decided to come back. It's been a long journey. We're going to put something together today. So if you're new here, hang out. Uh, we like to tell old stories. You get so pissed off. We try to be Christian, but then I think back to some of these characters, and forgive me, God, I just want to smash their faces in because I didn't at the time. They got dealt with, but just thinking back at the behavior of some of these people. Now, I put in the Misfits, uh, uh, um, these Mafia Misfits. Okay, let's get right to the check this lighter out. I smoke. I better be serious. Like the Fonz. Mm. Get a coffee. Do whatever you got. They got me censored, so I don't get whatever. I'm just gonna get these in, and that's it. Just kill some time before the game start. So I hope everybody's doing good this fall. Beautiful fall days. Uh, Baseball playoffs. Football's in full action. So all your bets be winning ones. Now let's talk about uh, evil revenge on these mafia misfits. Now, Lord knows I try to be a Christian. And are we just born with the like evil and then we have to grow to be righteous? Is that just in our original DNA that we fall from we fall short of the heavenly glory? So we're already, is it already like innately that we are more evil, and then we have to be acclimated in environment and custom in the morals and norms and mores to raise our level up of righteousness? Are we just born evil and then we got to work our way to goodness? I don't know. You folks decide on that. What's going on, Eric Foss and Frank Ferraro? Look who decided to show up. Good to have you here. God bless all you guys. Have a good everything. Have a good everything while we're on the subject. So we're talking about a little of these two misfits. Let me set the table. So you know the environment before I get into these two scums, these two pieces of filth that thought they could get close. There's a gambling ring going on. I'm college educated. I go to the office to run errands. It's a steel brokerage. Office in an office complex. It's in an office complex, steel brokerage. I'm going to go run errands, try to sell steel, which was impossible, and then do my hustle. And Mike S. was the boss of that office, and he was a little hub in this gambling ring that was going on. So that just set the table. I would go to the office, and then I'd run errands up to Niagara Falls or New York. I'd deliver the bread and milk or whatever. It was a big gambling ring. There was a lot of bread and milk, so I had to deliver it all over the place. So that's the premise to set the table. I'm immersed into that. I'm trying to hustle money. So one day I go to the office, and the janitor was cool. When Mike, there was two offices. Mine was in the front. Then there was one adjacent to the back behind my office, connected in an office complex. So the janitor there, another guy, God rest his soul, I'd come in early. He'd open the door for me. He opens the door for me. There's already this Kruger in there. This Kruger. That was the Amherst Business Complex. Foss. I don't know what year. I'm not Sammy the Bull Gravano. I can't remember what I had for lunch, even though I should remember that year. I don't know. 80s, late 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s. That time frame. So I go in there. I see this clown sitting at a typewriter messing with steel invoices. It was a steel brokerage. to try to sell steel, but that was also part of a gambling ring. But they did do legitimate business. They did sell steel. I tried to sell steel for commission, but it was just a hard sell. So I made my money running errands around. So I get in there. Here's this guy. You know those people that always look like they got a surprised look on their face? This guy had a surprised look on his face 24 hours a day. He looked like some kind of cartoon character. Kruger. I'm going to say his name. Kruger. That was his name. Now, there was a German and a Polish guy. These are the Misfits that tried the Italians. I have best friends that were Polish and German in my life. I'm not prejudiced against anybody. I grew up in an area where it was like the United Nations. So here's this Kruger up there. Good morning, Joe. Oh, well, whatever. You know, I'm like, who are you? This guy, you can tell when he's talking and all this stuff. Now he got in bad. He got in bad with Owen. He was betting with my boss, Mike S., not Mike Francis. Mike Francis was in New York. This is in Niagara Falls. So he got in deep. So this Einstein, my little office boss guy, it has him come in to type invoices or some goofy task just to pay off his gambling debt. He brings a clown in like this. The biggest bullcrap artist known to mankind, and I got him on my flank, just talking gibberish stuff, which I just had to say, bro, you got to stop. You stop. Type up your invoices, pay your tab, and don't gamble again. The best thing I could tell you is don't gamble again. So that was Mr. Kruger, Krueger, Kreuger. I'm like Mike Francis testifying at the Senate committee hearings. I'm even spelling out last names. Forgive me, Mike Francis. Forgive me, Mike. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Mike's all right. We're all old now. A rat bastard. We're all old. Yeah. We're all old. So let's get back to the gist here. Now that clown Kruger, they got rid of. He disappeared. He disappeared. Now this other guy, Kazuski, Pollacka, he used to call the office, and he used to call the office from federal prison somewhere, Texas, and I'd have to accept the charges, and then I would patch him to the office so he could talk to my office boss, because he was getting out and he was going to do his work release in our office. Smooth move, Mike S. Smooth move, Mike Scavone. That's his name. Smooth move, Mike Scavone. God rest you. God bless you. You and your family. Cool move. Smooth move. You let this degenerate gambler, rat bastard, come to do his parole work release at our office. Nice move. Nice move. Really well thought of, you know. I mean, what high IQs some of these guys had, you know. IQs. So Kruger, the German, he was harmless. But he knew he wasn't wanted. I couldn't take him and his bullshit conversations. And I'm a conversationalist like anybody, but he was just too irritating. He was trying to be a mobster. He was just out of place. I actually felt sorry for him. I told him, don't come around these circles or whatever. You're working your debt off right now. You're working your debt off right now. And well, you're getting barred. Mike's gonna bar you from gambling, but go gamble with somebody else. And he eventually did. I don't know what happened to him, but he wasn't there. So now here comes this Kazuski. The Buffalo Bills were in a Super Bowl or a playoff game, whatever. This Robert K. Kazuski, the most degenerate gambler on planet Earth, okay, decides to rob his parents' life savings. to bet on the Super Bowl. Close to 240 to 250 quarter mil on Super Bowl. He bet it with a guy I'll tell you about, outfit, another mafia outfit, gambling ring, Tony Morelli. Tony Morelli. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Loves? Try to spread some of that love around here. It's been a long time since we rock and rolled. So this Kazuski robs his parents' life savings, blows all the money to a bookie, gangster, captain of a family in between the families, and gets caught, goes to federal penitentiary, and then he cons this other mob boss to thinking while he's in the pen, he's becoming a stock market guru. He's becoming a stock market guru, this Robert K. And this Tony Morelli falls for it. So he would call the office from before he got out. He'd call the office, talk to Mike, blah blah blah, and he's acting like he's some stock market guru guy, and he's cultivating this other gangster, Tony Morelli, into investing in stocks. Now he already blew a quarter mil to Tony Morelli. Now he's telling Tony Morelli, well, I can make you some more. I could turn that into $1 million. Just give me that 250 back and I'll invest it in the stock market. And this guy bites for it, this Tony Morelli. God bless him. And he falls for it. So he's coming in there, and I had to pick him up at the airport, this Robert Kazoo. I had to pick him up at the airport, this Mama Luke. He comes in, and he's doing his work release in the office, and the feds will come into the office, our office, a multi-million-dollar gambling ring, legitimate steel brokerage. They're coming in to make sure this numbnuts is doing his work release. So I tell Mike Scavone, the business owner of the stock or of the steel and part of the gambling ring, I said, what are you bringing this guy in here for? So the feds come in here and do his work release? We want the feds coming through the door in this gambling ring? What's going on here? So I guess in retrospect that they were in cahoots. They were in cahoots to go after this money that this other mob captain was gonna give to this clown. Get this 250,000 and just rob the guy. In my words, rob, because he didn't intend on investing money into the stock market. This Robert Kazuski, he didn't intend on it. He robbed his mother's savings, his parents' savings. He blew it to Tony Morelli, bet $250,000 on the Bills, Buffalo Bills. Then he weasels his way into getting Tony Morelli to invest in the stock market. And the epicenter of this is our office. So my guy, Mike Scavone, must have been in cahoots, of course, with Robert K. to get this Tony Morelli's money. And I'm in the middle of it all. I'm in the middle of this freaking cluster F. So I'm in there, and I got to report to Sam, boss in Niagara Falls, and he don't like the idea. And I told Sam, the boss in Niagara Falls, what's going on in our office. Yeah, Sam, Mike's got a guy in there, a secretary guy that's a degenerate bum. And then he's got this guy that just got out of federal prison doing his work release in our office the middle of a gambling ring. And Sam didn't like it. Of course. Why are you we're trying to dodge the feds. You're trying to dodge the feds. You grab this Robert Kaczewski from a federal pen, and he's gonna come back to Buffalo, where he's from, and do his work release because they're cahooting to get this Tony Morales money, 250,000. All they were doing was setting the table. That I know this might be hard to follow. I hope you can keep track. That's I'm trying to express it. I'm trying to communicate it as eloquently as possible. But and I used to say, Mike, what are these guys doing here? So he got this guy. So Tony Morales brings. At first, I didn't know. Tony Morales brings the money to the office. 250,000 brings it, and now this Robert K is supposed to be doing some kind of stock market portfolio and all this. Well, when he brought that money to the office, it went into the back office, and it looked like Robert Kaczewski was going on a shopping spree with this investment money, and he's doing it right in my face. And I'm thinking, oh, well, I don't say too much because I didn't like him. You talk about a psychopathic liar, a compulsive liar. Like, you don't have to be a forensic psychologist to talk with a person for 2.5 minutes to read the guy and know he's a compulsive psychopathic liar that would rob his parents' life savings on top of it. So he was an enemy. He was the enemy to me. So he comes in there acting like a big shot. He's fresh out of the prison, and he's making all these big moves, and he's doing all this. Now I gotta put up with him in the office. He has to come and go. He has to come in, wait for the feds to come in for the work release, and I gotta deal with this psychopathic. I don't even know. I know a lot of psychological terms, but they didn't invent one yet for this guy. So I got to listen to this guy. So I'm hollering at Mike. I says, wow, we got to what is going on here? You bring this clown in fresh out of prison. He's running a con game. The feds are coming in. I said, don't you know all you guys are in jeopardy? I'm going up to Niagara Falls. I'm telling Sam exactly what's going on. So I did, and Sam said, keep your eyes open, report everything that you see in there. Stay later, and do whatever you got to do. I'll hook you up. I'll pay you. I'll throw you some money, Joe, and just report everything back to me. So they got this Tony Morales, this guerrilla captain, high-ranking person in another crime family. God bless and God rest him. Didn't start off that way. So they got his money, and he's spending it. This Robert K is spending it. He's going on shopping sprees. He's spending money. He's acting like a movie star. He's in the mirror. He's in the mirror, admiring himself, and he's just really whacked out. And I'm thinking, wow, you still got to be a little leery. He's a punk. You can knock him out with one punch, but sometimes it don't matter because these guys are just psychopaths. They don't fight. They just shoot. They don't fight. He could be a punk weasel, but you still got to be a little careful because they don't fight. They shoot. But he wouldn't. He didn't. So he's running around. Now I'm trying to sell steel in the office. Make my tips, doing my errands, running back to Niagara Falls, to Buffalo to Niagara Falls, do that, try to do my errand runs to New York with the bread and milk, trying to keep all that going. And next thing you know, there comes a period of time where Mike doesn't show up to the office and nobody's showing up to the office. Now I'm thinking, they got the money, they got the $250,000, And now they just leave me there to fend for myself in the office, and they're not anywhere around. They're not coming to the office. After a week or so, here comes this Tony Morelli on a motorcycle into the office complex, like Darth Vader with the helmet on and everything. Comes in motorcycle, quiet office complex, affluent area of the city, Amherst, and all you hear, brrr, it's like, wow, that's getting closer. That's getting closer. And here comes this guy, like freaking Bluto from Popeye or Julius Caesar, I don't know, big bruiser with a what look like Darth Vader, comes into the office looking for Mike and the kid, the the Polish guy that robbed him. Where are these guys? Where's my money to invest? So he pulls in there. They threw me to the wolves. He comes in. He's got two Rambo guns, two Rambo with the leather, the straps, two leather thing straps. I'm sitting at my desk like Pee Wee Herman. I'm sitting at my desk, and I think this is a full-fledged hit. These guys are bad actors. I end up in the office, and this guy's gonna smash me just for being on location. So I'm in terror. I'm in shock. I'm ready to faint. So I squirm off to the side of my desk, and I'm trying to process it. And here he comes. Here he comes, like freaking Yosemite Sam. He comes double boom, boom, boom like this. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. He goes, you think you're cute? You want to rob somebody? You think you're cute? I says, well, I already knew what he was talking about, but I gotta play stupid. No, I just try to sell steel. I'm an office secretary. I make a couple runs to Sam and Niagara Falls. I'm not involved with them guys. They're no good. I don't like them. So he's wondering where that Robert Kazuski, that Polish guy, he's wondering where he is after he gave him that money to invest in the stock market. Now he's MIA. And he's in cahoots with my boss. And they leave me there. I'm trying to call my boss to get steel brokerage information, some leads on some possible sales, and all this. No communication. This goes on. So I called his house another time. I said, you want to throw me to the wolves, bro? You and your little Polish friend want to come in here and leave and throw me? You got this psychopath coming into the office. You got federal agents coming into the office, and you leave me sitting there? How about this, Billy? How about this? I'm telling him on a message, on a telephone. Tony, I'm going to bring Tony Morelli to your house where you live. There's not going to be phone calls and all this and that. You leave me in the middle of it. How about I'm going to bring this guy that you and your little partner there robbed condom out of $250,000. I'm going to bring him. I'm going to bring this psychopath. So I leave the message. I call from the office. I leave the message at his house. Now, of course, he calls right back. Oh, hold on. Oh, I says, now you communicate with me. I said, you threw me to the wolves. I said, where's the money? You guys are out there spending it. You're going on shopping sprees. And there's a deeper story to that about where they were spending that money. It's too long, though. But they're rocking and rolling, and they leave me in there to answer questions. Real cute. And so I go back up to Niagara Falls, and I tell Sam, yeah, this is what's going on. This other guy, I says, do you know who this party is? This Tony Morel? He says, yes, I know, because they're part of a huge gambling ring. But he was in another district, so to speak, another regime, another regime. And I said, this is what's going on. They left me there, and the feds are in there, and he says, well, tell Mike to call me. So I got to tell Mike, call Sam. Mike don't like going up to Niagara Falls because he's always slippery with something. So he thinks if he goes to Niagara Falls, he ain't coming back. If they want you, they're going to get you wherever you are. But he was do nots a little bit. So they're running around playing this cat and mouse game. And Tony Morelli comes back. Well, that day he left. I was scared. Let's get back to the story. I was scared. I explained everything to him. I said, I don't like the guy. They left me here in the middle of this, and he got to be cool. He got to be a little cool and everything. And so he says, meet me at this coffee shop in 2 days. It was right down the street from the office complex. So I said, okay. So I go meet him and everything. And I said, I'm friendly with one of the federal agents, a lady, this real beautiful, fine lady, but I'm not giving her any information. She's friendly with me. It looks bad. It looks bad. I'm not volunteering pertinent information. We just got to be friendly. And so he wants his money. So I says, well, Robert was on all these shopping sprees and everything. So Tony, I don't really know how much of that money is left. I says, I'll bring you to the door. I'll bring you to where Mike lives, his house street. He goes, don't worry about that. So make a long story shorter, the feds are coming in, the lady friend are coming in. He's missing. So he's violating his work release. He's violating his work release because him and Mike just robbed all this money from Tony. So of course they're dodging everybody. They're dodging everybody. Me, Sam, Tony, the feds, they're dodging everybody. And they got this $250,000 and they're probably out in Vegas because that's the first place that he would go. So I meet Tony and I says, I'm not in cahoots with anything. Why would I be here? I'm getting 200 a week for this job. Why would I be here if I was in cahoots with robbing that money? I'd be in Florida on a beach somewhere. So he come in and I told him, this Robert K, he's got to be in Vegas. He's got to be in Las Vegas. And there's a couple of places that he was bragging about in the office because he's a high roller and he knows everything about Vegas. And there's a couple of casinos that I know he frequented. Like, well, I bet this much money at this casino. So a little intel on trying to find out where he could be. So you got a psychopathic, degenerate gambler like that who just robs $250,000, him and Mike, and Robert is definitely in Vegas. Mike, who knows where he is? He's hiding in a hole somewhere. So I tell him, and the lady friend, about a week later, 2 weeks later, the lady friend comes back in the office. Now, I had lunch with her. We got to be friendly. That's a whole nother story. I'm not a rat, okay? And she said he had rented a car. He had rented a car in Vegas, and then they found the car out in the desert somewhere. So I mean, I don't wish harm, or you try to be a Christian, and everything, but it, you hate to see, some people get what they deserve, but I was happy. I was happy that, well, good. They got that. They got him. They got that rat little, that, you know, they got him. That little cutie pie that robbed his parents. Who robs their parents? So I'm not perfect and I'm a sinner, but geez. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad they got him. They found the car and everything like that. And then some of his family members, like cousin, or they would show up and say, they'd come to the office and say, "Oh, I'm looking for my cousin. Do you know anything about?" "Well, I don't know where he is. He's been robbing everybody under the sun. I don't know where the guy is." "Well, we're concerned about him. Blah, 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 blah." He's a psychopathic. I know he's your family, but he's a psychopathic, degenerate gambler that robbing everybody, robbed his parents, and he robbed the mob. Where do you think he is? I'm guessing. I'm just saying that's just a bad outlook. But I had already knew. Now I don't know any intel on a body. I don't know anything like that because I would never get specifics like that. I don't want specifics. I don't want to know any of that. For what? You know, but you just hear it as you go along. So you have these guys because of this gambling that come in on a scene, and it's my boss, Mike Scavone, that owns the steel business and a gambling ring. And why do you let these people in? Why do you let these people in? Now, of course, this story, there's a lot more to it in the peripheral and a lot of things that happen. I wrote a book. You want to know the thing? Good time to try to sell a book. I sold 3. They dead miss. Amazon books, the link's in the description. Hey, here's a thought. The Cash App link's in the description. Want to help a guy out? Throw a bologna sandwich down his throat. This Bidenomics is killing me. So it's like how tomfoolery, flimflammery, when everything's going so good. Mike Scavone making money in the steel brokerage business, making money in the gambling ring. He's got more money. He's got family wealth. He's got family wealth outside of this gambling ring. And he's got business, the steel brokerage wealth. And he's got wealth at every level. But greed, of course, well, the true term, that's greed. Yeah, no kidding. But then well, his life got in jeopardy too. His life got in jeopardy because they figured he was in cahoots with the Polish guy Kazuski, and they thought, nice try, nice try. You're gonna rob Tony Morelli's money. Nice try. And how do you let this element in? How do you let this element in? You know, and I had to straighten that out with Mike Scavone down the road and say, really, bro, you put me in the middle of the crossfire. You bring this scum into the office. Now I got to answer questions to the mafia. I got to answer questions to the feds. You're cute, really? Well, how about this, Mike? I'm going to just go back and say, I talked to Mike, everybody. Mike's not missing. He told me to tell you, everybody, to F off. So really, Mike, you want to go there? They love me and trust me more. Not even a made man. They trust me more than these degenerate clowns running around. So I says, well, how about this? F you, Joe. When somebody's like, I try to be nice and cool and have fun. But when it's F you first, no, then it's F you back. So once you throw the first F you out there, then all bets are off. I'll say a prayer for you, whatever happens. So they brung these clowns in there, and they were incompetent. They were scandalous. It brung the law, it brung the government into our office, and it's just safe to say everybody disappeared. Everybody disappeared. Mike S had to pay off some things. Uh, Tony Morelli, I got in good with him. He trusted me. He knew I was thrown into that, and we had a good relationship after that. And then I left. You know, it wasn't like we're going to be lifelong buddies, but I just appeased that, and we were cool. So it was like, and I asked him. I said, Tony, the guy blows $250,000, and you win the bet. Tony is a bookie, high-ranking mob guy. You beat this guy out of $250,000. You know he stole his parents' life savings. Why are you trying to take that exact same said money, $250,000, and trust the guy with it to invest in the stock market? Why would you do that, Tony? You're a sharp guy. You can read people. You can do this, you know. He said, greed. Greed? The guy's got on work release with the feds, Tony. He's rubbing elbows with the feds every day. You're in the background doing these moves with him? What? But that all blew over, and eventually there was so much trouble in these crews. Outside of that freaking crap spot, outside of that, there was just so much internal stuff there, and then externally with the mob guys in New York City. My godfather was an enforcer. He protected me a little bit. He did. He saved my life. And you know, and then you got to deal with the peripheral, the external stuff. In the meantime, you got two clowns in the office, Mike. What is wrong with these people? And everybody I'm talking about is worth $2 or $3 million. Everybody except the two instead of the German and the Polish guy, and me, of course. Every one of these actors, Tony Morelli, well worth over $1 million, high ranking, that big money in that gambling ring. Tony Morelli, big money. Mike Scavone got 3 different wealth generators, well worth over $1 million. Back then, that money back then is worth 5 times today in today's money. And all these guys could just ride off into the sunset, just act a little normal, and live so blessed, live so good. And they do all these goofy moves. It's just like human behavior. Nobody, when you're in the middle of it all, you don't step aside and go, geez, this is retarded. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? I was guilty of it. I was a little naive. I was a little wet behind the ears. And I came in there, thought I was street smart. And then I was like, oh, wait, I got a lot to learn here. This ain't like the old neighborhood here. This stuff doesn't fly here. You better smarten up quick. But you learn quick. These guys didn't learn. They didn't learn. You'd think this Robert Kaczewski didn't know what his fate was going to be? Yeah, rob what you can while you can. You're not going to make it. Rob, go ahead, pull your little cutie pie moves. You're not going to make it. And it was just a convoluted circle with a lot of different actors. And read the book. It's a good book. It's $8 or something. I know economic times are tough. We're not going to talk politics because I want to enjoy the day. Hey, look at that. Anybody new in here? It's the truth, serum. Forget about the subscriber number. They froze that. Whatever. I'm under censorship right now. Crucify me. Yeah, YouTube censored me. I'm still crying like a little baby. But Frank Ferraro standing on business with Eric Foss, Eddie Love, Big Small. I got my boys in here. I like to visit with these guys sometimes. I'm not going to keep crying. Well, I do keep crying over being censored and everything, but oh well. But I was thinking about that story, and it was just like, I told it in certain ways. There's a lot of other stuff that went on, but I came out of it all right. I came out of it all right. I started making demands. You want to throw me under the bus? How about this? You better come up with some cake, or I'm going right back to both bosses, Sam and Tony. I'm calling the shots now. I'm calling the shots now. You're gonna have to move to Siberia when I'm done talking to these guys, or you better come up with a little cake. F you, Joe? No, sorry. Sorry. I survived that. Now you got to survive. Terrible game. Terrible game. Forgive me, God. Forgive me, God. Terrible game. Life and death. Terrible stuff. I don't want harm on anybody, but geez, it's a subculture. It's a subculture. We just got regular culture, and then that's a subculture of a certain demographic, and then the thinking, and common sense and logic of that subculture doesn't match regular culture. The norms and mores of regular society and culture has its regular customs and traditions and norms and mores. Yeah, that's regular society. Then you got these mafia crazies and mafia wannabes that it's their own subculture. So we can't try to impose society common sense and say, well, why did he do this? Why didn't he do that? That was stupid. That didn't make sense. Because it's a different environment. People ain't thinking straight in this subculture. You could be an armchair quarterback and go, what? Gee, So, yeah, I think sometimes people are just born evil and they're just trying to live their way to get to goodness. I don't know. I don't know. But a lot of families, God forgive me, because I want to smash them guys. I want to smash them for the behavior and all their tomfoolery. And then there's crying family members. There's crying family members, just like when the crew disappeared, when all them little wise guys, all them thieves up there in Niagara Falls, all them thieves running around causing trouble, robbing and everything, Owen, and you wanna smash them, but their family members would come around later, and I was on my way out, and like this Kozuski. God forgive me for putting his last name in here, but it could be made up or not, whatever. Whatever. I'm just guessing that's what his name was, okay? I'm just guessing. And you got to realize that all these people got dealt with, all these people might have got smashed out or whatever, violence, assault, murder. And then you realize there's family members that are concerned or grieving, and that's the flip side of the coin that MobTube doesn't show you. MobTube doesn't show you. You folks want blood and guts. We don't care about, oh, too bad he got whacked. Oh, geez, cry a river and all that. No, we want blood. We want mafia stories. We want to find out how somebody cut somebody into pieces and did whatever they did. That's what we want to know. But there's a flip side to it. Removed from the immediate actors, it's their family members. Now, this bum, Robert K., the Polish guy we're talking about, I had to go up to the office for something or another. This is the aftermath. This is the aftermath. I was on my way out. I had to make another run to New York, and I was just bebopping around, but I had to make another run. So I'd go up there or whatever and screw around. And the sister of this Robert, she said she come in there, excuse me, this is who I am, ba 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 ba. My brother-in-law or my brother or whatever. She looked like it was probably the sister. I don't know. I don't know. You got to tell me. I said, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. He came in. He got out of the. Of course, you're aware, honey. He got out of Texas Penitentiary. He come to do his work release here, but he was acting crazy and stuff with money, and then I don't know what happened to him. And she's like, you know, I said, I don't know what happened to him. He ain't around. He got out of prison. He acted worse. You know, he robbed your parents. Their brother and sister. And she was like, well, that's my brother. Listen, I said, I got nothing to do with it. I got nothing to do with it. Go to the FBI, go to the district, whatever it is over there, and ask where he is. He's supposed to be doing his work release, but he ain't coming back to this office. He ain't been seen. So, and she, proper person in society. Now, she must have grown up with him in the same household, and she knew he was a psychopath. She knew at 10 and 11 that something was off with her brother. She knew. She knew. And then she could just put the pieces together and says, like, well, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. I don't know what happened in Vegas. They found his car in the desert, but the feds could have picked him up and put him in witness protection. I don't know. I don't know. But I think the feds had enough of him too, because he manipulated everything. Whether you were a fed, a gangster, boss, whoever, he manipulated. He tried to manipulate, and was so obvious. It's like a flagrant foul. It's like, bro, you're so transparent. You're trying to run game. You're trying to run game on people that invented the game. You got no shot. You're running game on people. You look like a clown. But that's human behavior. And I felt sorry for the family members, not only his, but other family members, wives and children that they would visit the prisons to see their father and husband and stuff like that. And you would see them in tow. And it's like, look at the fallout, you know. Look at the fallout. It's like you see Mike Francis. God bless Mike Francis. You see Mike Francis up there and everything. But at the end of the day, forgive me, Mike, you ratted like the biggest speed rat on planet Earth. Jeez. Well, that's just the nature of the game. Wow. Congress. You gave up 25 names in 32 seconds. Wow. Well, that's what happens. That's his business. That's what happens. You sign up for a life like that, and it's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be confusion. There's always going to be freaking insanity. You can't try to make sense out of all that stuff. You can't make sense out of it. We could say greed has a big part of it. Greed, these people got a ton of money. Why don't they just chill out and just go live their life and enjoy the money and everything else? And then people like action. People like adrenaline. People like to be in the mix. People like to be hustling, gunning for money, plotting, scheming, robbing. Some people just freaking thrive on that. Yeah, what are we gonna do? Yeah, so like I always say, it's just like I always say in the African Delta, on the animal shows, when you just see a freaking hyena or a cheetah stalking on the prey, a wounded gazelle, and they're just waiting. If you let your guard down and you got something of value, you're done. And they just wait like predators. They just sit. They sit and wait. And the minute you stumble, they pounce like the hyenas. They pounce on the Joshua tree of the African Delta. Wow, gotta love it. It's just like predator and prey. The world is full of predator and prey. It's like your boss at work he's a predator on you, and you're kissing his butt, and you're the prey. There's always authority and then somebody submissive. Authority and submissive. And it clashes. It clashes so beautifully. And then when the smoke clears, you got to sort it all out. You got to sort it out. Like, geez, how did that happen? You didn't see that coming from left field. You didn't see that coming. How couldn't you see that coming? Yeah. Guy come in with a skull well, guy come in to the office. He's from the club in Niagara Falls. His whole skull was wrapped, like in the movies. He comes in there looking for JoJo. Well, that would be me, JoJo. Yes, I heard that you're friendly with Sam the boss, blah, 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 and all this and that. And yeah, well, I got assaulted and all this stuff happened. Could you put in a good word for me? I don't even know you from Charlie Brown, bro. The best I could advise you, forgive me, pay your debt, quit gambling, and then you won't get your ass whooped. Quit gambling. But nobody's going to smooth talk these violent killers on your behalf. Quit gambling. Quit gambling. Because I want to tell you something, Billy. Your little skull fracture with the white thing and all that, you should thank the Lord that's all that happened to you. You should thank the Lord. Now you come weaseling around here, get out of here. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. Pay your debt and ride off into the sunset. That's all. Quit gambling, or don't gamble with these guys anymore. And if you owe them, if you owe this mafia outfit, and then you go gamble with another mafia outfit, they share intelligence. They share they information share. They know you ain't gonna get no curveballs. So quit gambling, because you're thinking you're just gonna get even. You're gonna gamble with another family. You're gonna get even. And then you could pay this family the money you owe and everything's going to be fine. No, you're going to gamble with the other family. You're going to go in debt. Now you owe two mafia families. Just get your funeral arrangements in order. Just get your funeral arrangements in order. That's all. What do you want to know? That's how this environment just blurs your logic and your logic and common sense and addiction. And gambling addiction is also in play. Addictive behavior. That's addictive behavior. So there you have it. Crazy stories of once upon a time in a crazy life. And thank you, God, and thank you, Jesus, that you gave me some guardian angels to make it through there, and a little wisdom and common sense, because I was really lacking it when I first went in there. But thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you to guardian angels that to this day have protected me. And so we're going to keep throwing. I don't care about getting subscribers anymore because they froze my ticker. I'm not even in the algorithm. But you guys here, these cool people here that like to hang out with a guy, shoot some stuff around. So big, small, Mr. Eddie Love, Eric Foss, Frank Ferraro, and everybody else that happenstances upon the truth serum. All right. The baseball, very dramatic baseball playoffs, football. It's a good time, folks. Be happy for what you have. Don't be pissed off for what you don't have. You're alive right now today. If you're in a sound thinking, you can get to what you want to get to. Take a step back. Process things. You can get there. It's a tough road, but good things come at the end of that road. It's not easy. Not easy. We perceive things, oh, this and that. No, just stay in there. Perceive it. Be confident, okay? The world is a vampire. It wants your blood. The world wants to tear you down. The demons, and they want to tear you down. Get your fighting weight up. Get your fighting weight up, because you got to dodge these demons. You got to dodge. So get right. Live life. Enjoy it. Laugh. Do better in your relationships if you can. If you're addicted to stuff, quit. Quit. You want to rock and roll, you'll end up like me, dead on the floor in life support for a year. The angels rescued me there. So nip it in the bud, all right? There's enough that we can cry about, but let's be thankful and happy that we have the day. We have the day, okay? So that's it, folks. Thank you, folks, for coming in. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button. There's a link to the book, Amazon book, Cash App. Hey, folks, whatever happened to the Cash App? Let me get the dust off of it. That's all right. Economic times are hard. You know, they are hard. I'm not, whatever. Please donate to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the I'm Broke Symphony in E minor. Please donate to the channel. I'm broke. Whatever. So there you have it, folks. Enjoy life. Try to entertain you a little the best I can. Go out, be the kings and queens, all right? Enjoy life. Look at a beautiful fall day, everything. Embrace it. Wake up. Wake up, Blue Friday. All right, folks, over and out. Stay great.